What it do, YouTube? So it looks like Washington State passed legislation to decriminalize hemp production. 98-0. That means no one opposed it, which means they're opposing big government, bigger than state government. To have that big of a unanimous decision is going to make an impact. Trust me. What's interesting about that 98-0 vote is that they're going to classify hemp right there alongside tomatoes. So you don't even need a license to grow it. This is going to be phenomenal. Now, for those that don't know, hemp is kind of the cousin to cannabis and marijuana. It's from what I've determined throughout years of trying to, I've never actually come in contact with hemp, but from what I've determined, it's kind of like the NA version of beer, kind of like O'Doul's. You have to drink like a case of O'Doul's to get the buzz from one Bud Light. So it's not worth anybody's time to smoke hemp. The fibers are extremely strong. You could produce 10 times the amount of pulp for paper in like a tenth of the acreage. Something along those lines. I'll throw a link in the description for that. But it is factual. Hemp grows faster than trees. You don't have to wait 10, 20 years to harvest them. And in a lot less acreage, you can produce a lot more pulp for paper. Also plastics, such as, well, plastics. You're going to be able to, it's going to help us with food. It's going to help us with clothing. It's going to help us with plastics, a competition for big oil plastics. And it's a good thing all around. We should be celebrating. Like, but we still got to wait on the feds because, they got Oxycontin listed as Schedule 2, but marijuana is Schedule 1. Retards running this nation. I'm sick and tired of it. Their day is coming to an end. And they're thinking, no, your day is coming to an end. We got a shadow government. We got a shadow government going on so we can overthrow your real government, elected officials. This is getting annoying, man. It's like what I said in the description of my previous video. It reminds me of when my stepdad would grab my hand and say, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. It's like our government, or the shadow government, is attacking its own people. Is literally just, they're against freedom. They're anti-freedom. The more freedom we think we have, the more we realize we don't have it at all. Do you know we're the of all developed first world countries, we are the only ones that haven't legalized hemp production. We are ass backwards, we are retarded, we're ignorant, you name it, that's what we are. And retard shouldn't be offensive. I've already had this rant, and you're gonna hear it again. Because everybody knows that retarding your timing is the opposite of advancing your timing to slow or speed up. And yet everybody gets offended. That's America. If you ain't offended, you ain't American. It's idiotic. I only get offended at those that are offensive. Which, I don't know. I don't even know. I guess what I'm saying is, I'm offended when somebody degrades another human being sexually, whether they're straight or gay. And I know gay people that try to get away with it. I'm like, don't you talk about that guy like you want to do what you said you want to do to him. I wouldn't tolerate that behavior from any heterosexual friend, and I'm certainly not going to give you a pass just because you're gay and you're going to be offended at the fact that I'm offended. Look, just there's certain things you got to keep to yourself. And yeah, Key and Peele did a cool sketch about it. In fact, it's probably my least favorite Key and Peele sketch because it's so flamboyant. But at the end of it, I think it was Jordan Peele. He was like, "Oh, I'm not persecuted. I'm just an asshole." As he plays a gay guy. I guess I can throw that link in the description as well for your enjoyment. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing of significance that I wanted to mention today, other than the fact that they're going after Jeff Sessions, which his stance on marijuana is is negative anyway, so I say get rid of them. I don't really care. If you ain't for us, you're against us type of mentality. So, but I guess they're accusing him of interacting with Russia or a Russian embassy. But come to find out, in 2015, 30 Democrats contacted Russia in regards to various whatever. So you can just Google that yourself. Democrats are pointing fingers at the Republicans for doing something they do and have done. And if I'm not mistaken, we've had a machine in the White House since like World War II that allows us to communicate directly with Russia. I doubt they're still using that archaic piece of machinery, but at the same time, we've been talking to Russia on a daily basis for decades and decades and decades. And so I don't understand what everybody's hoopla is about. We're in a global economy with neighbors and stuff, and you should be contacting your neighbors and, how you doing today? Is there anything I can do for you? Like, be helpful. So if we're not contacting our neighbors, and Russia's a neighbor, they're like 50 miles from Alaska, so that's a neighbor. Anyways, guys, I hope you just have a wonderful day the rest of your week, even though it's, Thursday and you got Friday, but then you got Saturday and you got Sunday. So, and then we can get back to the grind. Take care, everybody. God bless. Keep looking up, and I promise you, he's listening to everything you're asking.